Thanks to those joining me live and to those that be joining me on archive. It's 10 p.m. Eastern time, and we are live. Let me do a sound check right now. The sound check is good, and we are ready to rock. Make sure you throw a jab at that like button. If you're tuning in on archive or if you're on live, throw a jab at that like button. If you like the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And remember to hit that bell button like it's a speed bag. You will see that little shaking motion on top of that bell. That way you're notified every time DStyleBoxing comes on live. Right? 10 p.m. Eastern time, Mondays through Thursdays. Right? Sometimes on Fridays, other random times, and of course, boxing stories. I'll be having another one on Sunday. Be on the lookout for that. Man, this is your daily reminder that this is Sugar Shane Appreciation Week. So show your appreciation to Sugar Shane Mosley. Give him a round of applause. Give him some, right? Got some polls up. Check them out. You go to DStyle. You go to youtube.com/DStyleBoxing. Go to community page. And from there, all right, or just click on my avatar, my name. Go there. Go to community page. There's some polls up. We got the qualifier poll up. Eric Morales, and Carl Froch, all right, are in their second week. They have 5 more weeks to advance. They're back on a poll. Ricky Hatton has been eliminated. He got an abysmal, less than 10% of the vote. He's out. Right. And Bernard, the Executioner Hopkins, has been added. And Miguel Angel Cotto has been added. Bernard Hopkins is leading the early going right now in the poll. And needs at least 40 polls to qualify from here to Friday. I'm sure we'll get there, but that's the minimum. But the poll does close Friday, Eastern time. Okay, make sure you go and you vote. Okay, even while you're listening live, you can actually click on my channel, right? Especially on a mobile device. You click on my, right now where it says DStyleBoxing on my avatar, go to community, and you can actually go ahead and vote on that. Keep scrolling down. You'll see some other stuff, but you'll see some fantasy matches which we'll be talking about. Sugar Shane Mosley. At 135, while this fight happened, it happened at welterweight. Way past their best, I think. But Mosley and Mayweather in a hypothetical 135-pound matchup. Right now, it's a tie. 50-50. It's a tie right now. Okay, on that poll. There's also, what if Mosley moved up to 140 and had fought the 140-pound kingpin, Kostya Tszyu? Right now, Sugar Shane Mosley is leading that poll with 83% of the vote, but it's, we'll see how that goes. All right. And finally, Sugar Shane Mosley at 135, going up against who many consider the best lightweight of all time, Roberto Manos de Piedra Duran. Hands of Stone, Robert Duran, right, is leading 72% to 28% on that poll as we speak. But you can still vote. Shout out to A-Rod83 in the chat, Perfection in the chat, Age10 in the chat, saying he voted for Morales. Man, Morales barely got edged out by Barrera last week. That poll will be up later. Okay, maybe tomorrow. Title of the video. But DStyle, trust the video. DStyle, like the title. Like Dana White is serious about getting involved in boxing. According to him, right? You could take that for whatever it is. All right. I would love to play some clips for you, but I have a feeling I would get copyrighted, especially after some of the things I said about Kevin Iole, and it was his interview. I just have a feeling. I heard some things in the grapevine, but that's another story. All right. But this I'll say. Is this good for boxing? Look, let me tell you guys some. All right, but while you throw a jab at that button, by the way, while you come in, let me tell you guys some. All right, and yes, we're going to get to some fantasy matches, but let's get this out of the way, okay? Well, we got time today. I emptied the clip with a lot of the fights yesterday, so we got time. Look, Dana White is, as you know, you guys know, right? He's the president of the UFC, all right? And whether you like the guy or not, I don't personally like him. I think the dude's an asshole, right? But, you know, those are the bad qualities. But the good qualities is he actually did some good. I mean, he did a great job of bringing up the UFC from something that was defunct, bankrupt, okay? And yes, it wasn't a Fertitta's money, but it was his vision. And he brought it up. And, of course, it came with his ego grew along with it, right? But he did a good job bringing the UFC to where it is today, from obscurity to where it is now. Those are just the facts. Whether you like the guy or not, you got to give him credit for that. Right? Doesn't mean you got to like him, right? We got to give him credit for that. What's up, Boxing Dialogue? Mexico native, what's up? All right. He says boxing needs a Dana White, no more ducking. Best versus best. Well, and that's where I'm getting at. Now, I'm not saying boxing can ever realistically. It could get there, maybe, but I don't know. Boxing is such a worldwide sport, and sanctioning bodies are, you know, one's based out of Mexico, another one's based out of, like, I don't know, like, I forget, but was it Colombia, Venezuela? I don't know, right? They're based out of, like, their headquarters are purposely in places where there's no jurisdiction, really, that the United States government or anybody has on them, right? But you know, there's ways around it. You know, they do need our commissions to fight here and stuff like that, and they can be bought out, but nothing's stopping another one from growing, right? But that's another story. There are rumors out there, right, that Dana White, right, and Zuffa, okay, remember he was wearing Zuffa t-shirts in the McGregor, Mayweather fight, right? The Zuffa boxing, and people were wondering, what is that? What is this? Just to get cheap money right now? But he was talking about it then. I have a video from 2015 where he was already kind of exploring those options. In this interview, he said he has talked to every promoter. And I quote, "You name the promoter, and I have spoken with them." That's what Dana White said. Right? Now, he also said, okay, we can be involved a little bit. And he had the palms of his hands facing each other, okay? Right in front of his chest, like 3 inches apart. We could be involved this much. And then he extended his hands as far apart as he could, or we could be involved this much. Wow, quite the gauge there, okay? I can't quite gauge how much you're going to be involved. All right? Thanks for filling us in, Dana. All right, that makes a lot of sense. Okay? Are you kidding me? I mean, he talked about we can be involved. We could start a promotional company and actually sign fighters to join us, and they'll fight under our banner, he said. He said we can just, get involved in terms of, putting up money for site fees and stuff like that, right? He said, they'll just bid on fights and their locations or whatever, right? So it's not clear. He's all over the place in terms of what exactly they want to do. So I came away thinking, I don't know what this guy wants to do because he doesn't know. All right. But what we do know is that according to him, this is serious. They did ask, Kevin Iole asked him, yo, he didn't say yo, okay. But do you want to buy PBC? He didn't say no. He didn't say that him and the Fertittas or the owners of the UFC, whoever it is, he didn't say that they do not. Right? Now, it's important to note, by the way, the Fertittas don't own UFC anymore. And if they want to get involved in boxing, they can. These guys have a lot of money. Right? But what's interesting is that he didn't say no. He said that he never said that. Now, I never said that. I didn't say that in the interview. No, but do you want to buy it? I never said that in that interview, right? That someone quoted him. He said that they misquoted him. He said the quote was misquoted, but he didn't say that he refused to answer if they're trying to buy the PBC. He did not answer that question. He did not answer that question directly. And this man may very well be involved, okay, in trying to purchase the PBC. Now, there's a lot of people out there, you know, with different shit to say regarding that. Even if the PBC is not up for sale, it can still be bought. And if it's a very good deal, why wouldn't Al Heyman sell it? Now, whether you don't want him to do that or not is a different story. But look at it like if they offer, like, you know that old saying, let me make you an offer you can't refuse. Like, it's, man, you really got to be really attached to something to not sell it for like, almost anything could be bought. Okay. Like, I'm just saying, oh, man, I love this car. This was my first car. My very first car. I'm never going to give this car away to nobody. I don't give a shit. And my wife says I got to get rid of it. This shit's I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to polish this thing up, man. It hasn't ran in 10 years, but one of these days, I swear it's going to run. And because this is my baby, man. This is my very first car. Okay. All right, I got the very first time I got head, I was in this car. Okay, all right. I mean, I'm just saying. All right, this car was my baby. All right, I ain't getting rid of this shit ever. Hey man, I'll give you $200 for it. You crazy? I'll never sell this. I'll give you $1,000. No, nah. Yeah, I'll offer the dude $20,000. You'll sell that shit quick, right? And what happened to your memories and all that bullshit? I'll go. I'm gonna go rest of my sorrows with his $20,000. All right. So yes, I don't care if that's his baby and all that, but if they offer him the right deal, the dude's gonna sell PBC. You better believe that. Okay. You best believe that shit. You best believe it. Right? I don't give a damn. Right? If they offer him the right price and he's one, getting all the money he invested into it and getting a pretty good profit out of it, he's gonna sell it. Right? And from what I hear, Al Heyman will still be involved. That's a plus. He'll still be getting paid to run it. You can still get paid to run PBC, but at the same time get to sell it. It's a win-win. It's a win-win. Now, this is, again, we don't know, but Dana didn't say that, nah, that's not true. He said that he was misquoted in the article. That they misquoted him. He never said that. But are you going to buy it? Now, I never said that in that interview. Well, that's not yes and that's not no. Okay, but if it was no, he would have just said it, right? He would have just said, nah, I ain't buying that shit. Okay? I don't give a damn. Okay? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Ah, man, this is my Camaro, man. This is my 1982 beauty. Look at this blue beauty. I've been polishing this shit for 10 years. Hasn't ran in 10 years, but I still polish this shit. You know those guys that hang on to those cars, but they never do shit. They keep swearing up and down. Like if they look at you just staring at that car for longer than 3 seconds, don't bring it up because they know what you're thinking. They know how this dude ain't doing shit with this car. Nah, bro, let me tell you, man, I already got these plans, man. I already went to these websites. Man, did you know that in the internet you could buy parts for vehicles? Now, you could buy these parts, bro, and you could buy all this shit. They never buy shit. And if they do, it stays in the box. All right? That's it. So when are you going to get up and running? I just got to do this. And then they'll even pop open They'll pop up in the hood and talk about how in good condition the motor is. It hasn't ran in 10 years. But they tell, look, see, it's not rusted. It's this, that. And all you got to do is replace this, replace that, replace this. Like they'll go and they know the names of everything. And oh man, I just gotta get these plugs right here, these sparks right there. Man, I just gotta fix all this shit. And I gotta get some oil back in there. It's the transmission. I mean, I think the transmission's still in good condition. I never had issues with it. I just gotta do a couple things. This baby will be up and running. And they have a newborn. Let me tell you something. It never fails. They got like a 2-year-old kid, and they swear that's their kid's car. Oh man, I gotta fix this up for my son. Hey, the Mexicans do this for sure. Like, hey, I'm gonna fix this up for my son, man. My son's gonna be riding this shit in high school, bro. He's gonna be the cool kid. Hey, but you gotta get the shit running right. The shit hasn't run in 10 years. The sun is eating this car alive, bro. First of all, you keep polishing this shit, and it's already freaking. Look at this. The paint's coming off. What are you doing? But I covered it. Yeah, but it was in the sun for like 6 years anyway. But they swear they're gonna fix it up, or they swear, right? And if their kid is around like 12 years old, because that's how it happened with my uncle. Right? It was always his kid's car. His kid's like 13 now. He's like, oh, yeah. We're going to, me and my son, we're going to make it like a project, and we're going to fix the shit up. And we're going to get this baby up and running. Like it never happens. It never happens. Bullshit. Anyway, I went on a rant there, but like everybody knows that dude. Everybody knows that guy. All right. Let's see here. WBA Panama, WC Mexico, gotcha. Panama, that's right. Puerto Rico, IBF. New Jersey. WBO's Puerto Rico. WBA Panama, WC Mexico. New Jersey is the IBF. Interesting. Dana answered the same way he did right before UFC sold to WME, almost denying it, but first also being open-ended. Yeah. Like he could always turn around and say, I never said we weren't going to buy it. I said that dude misquoted me in that interview. Right? So absolutely. Everyone says, San Bernardino people, don't forget the Morales versus Mikey exhibition fight for a fundraiser. Interesting. Shout out. Let me tell you something, man. Mikey better understand. He's in there with old man. Like, if Mikey gets out of hand, I swear to fucking God, I'm going to pray that dude gets knocked the fuck out in the next fight. I'm not even playing. Right? Miguel Raya, Fertitas brought Pride. Yeah, they brought Strikeforce and WEC. It's not impossible for them to buy PPC. They can do it, absolutely. AJ10, Dana White is the anti-Al Heyman. Eddie Allen, Fertitas still owns a small piece of the UFC 2. Heyman will probably go to the same route. That's true. I did forget about that. They still own part of that. All right. Absolutely. Haplotype says, I'm doing exactly what he's talking about with one of the cars right now. But one of these days, that car's going to get fixed, right? And I'm never going to sell it because it's my baby. So there's a dude that swear up and down. The only reason they don't sell it because nobody's really offering them anything for it, right? No, like it's all horse. Okay, like they swear. And even if they get a good deal, they swear that they're going to fix it up and they could get more for it, right? Nah, he offered you $8,000 for this. You should have sold it, Uncle. What the fuck you doing? Like, nah, but if I fix it up, I'm going to spend like $3,000 and fix it up. I'm going to get like $20,000 because this is a classic. I saw a show the other day, man. These classics get a lot of money. Yeah, okay. Sure, it's going to be in a classic show one day, right? I'm sure Haplotype's car is going to be in one of those classic shows one day. I'm sure. Mexico native Dana White versus Austrian MMA. Make it happen, Dana. All right. Mac Boxing MMA in the house. He says this is maybe reaching, but Dana wants to get a full hold in boxing. If he were to get the Fertitas involved and purchase all the sanctioned bodies, he would definitely be a power player. And is it reaching? Is it really? Like I've always said, I've been saying this for a long time. It takes one dude that's a huge boxing fan. If DStyle was a billionaire, bro, if let's say I was just born filthy rich, I probably wouldn't be a boxing fan, right? but let's say I was. Let's say I fell in love with it the same way I fell in love with it when I watched the first Dictator fight with Chavez. And I had 80 billion in the bank. I would get like 10 billion and just invested in boxing. Like, I know that sounds ridiculous, but I would. Like WBA, I'm buying you out. Okay, WBC, I'm buying you out, right? And I'm buying all you suckers out because I don't like any of them, right? I don't like any of those sanctioning bodies. They're all corrupt, right? They work at their own fucking convenience, right? And that's all I got to say about that. Every single last one of them. The WBO, the fact that the man, don't even get me started with WBO, right? Don't even get these stuff started with this shit. Ain't nobody cared about the fucking WBO. Nobody gave a shit, but they legitimate, like they made it legitimate, and like it's trying to do the same shit with the IBO. Stop it. Just stop. We don't need a fifth sanctioning body. Okay, like 4 is already way too fucking much. The IBF was already too fucking much. You know, like goddamn. Absolutely, man. We got to get to a point where we have a clear champion. All right. None of this Tyson Fury is a lineal champion and let's swing off the nuts of Tyson Fury. None of that. By the way, I can't get over how ESPN handle that. I can't get over it. And I'm starting to believe that it's in the contract. I know that sounds crazy. Speaking of far-fetched, I know it sounds crazy. Like, oh, why would it be in the contract? Yeah. Did you guys know, right? Univision and Dish Network, okay, they weren't, together for a while. There was a takedown. And when the channel came back, all right, all of a sudden, Univision started saying all these positive things about Dish. Why? I don't know. You guys take a wild guess, all right? Because it's in a contract. It was in the agreement, all right? These agreements happen all the time. There's nothing out of bounds. I am sure that Tyson Fury, okay, it was an agreement that they got to call him the lineal champ, the quote-unquote real champ. I'm telling you, all right? Now, I don't know, look, I'm just saying. Now, how is Dana going to get involved in boxing? I have no idea. He's talking about doing he said he already got an amateur license, and he's going to promote some amateur fights. That's good for the amateur guys. It really is. All right. Good for them. What's up, Underground Asylum? Stunna says, we don't need UFC boxing structure. Look, I'm not even saying that. But what I'm saying is, first of all, that's not going to happen. But we need more clarity. All right? We need more clarity. All right? And we need something to make these guys fight each other. The people that swear up and down that the Zone and ESPN Plus going to make this, yes, they're not pay-per-view. Look, the quality, the big thing about pay-per-view is it did give fighters an incentive that, the better the fight, argument says, the more people will buy it, right? With the app, people are already paying for it anyway, regardless, right? And they're already believing that somehow this is replacing pay-per-view, even though it isn't. So who fucking knows, right? The app hasn't replaced pay-per-view. You don't know if Tyson Fury is still talking about fighting on pay-per-view. You don't know that. And all it's done is enable all this bullshit that we've been seeing. That's all it's done. All right. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of talk about Dana White thing, man. I don't believe that Dana's going to make a lot of noise in boxing. That's my prediction. All right. He might get involved with a fight or two, probably lose money, and then they're out. Boxing is too much of a wild, wild west for anyone trying to bring structure to it to succeed. It just is. Right? Like, even if you buy PBC, there's no guarantee that you get the quote-unquote PBC fighters. None. Those guys will go sign with somebody else. They'll sign with another promoter. They'll go sign with a promoter that, will have them fight on other networks. I'm sure all that's being talked about, and I just don't see what they're going to do with it, to be honest. That's my prediction. I'm just being honest. Boxing made me the pessimist. I don't know what to tell you guys. Haplotype says he has a simple solution. By the way, yes, they have commercials, bro. Just insane. Santa says you can't have massive fights every month. They'll lose the value. They can still structure the sport to have the best fight the best. Okay, to have that pendulum swing that direction. Haplotype, I have a simple solution to the lack of unification, but the sanctioning bodies won't do it because they are practicing Adam Smith, the archaic Adam Smith economics. Yep. Mexico Native says, why can UFC model work for boxing? It can, maybe. I don't think it can. It can't. They're not going to fight for the money that these guys make, bro. It's not going to happen. It's this. You have UFC fighters, okay, are trying to, get the type of money that, top fighters make, bro. Tyson Fury made more money fighting for ESPN Plus and got his ass kissed along the way with it, right? They did a whole show for him. I mean, they freaking put out the red carpet for Tyson Fury. Got all that, got paid millions of dollars to do that, right? You really think fighters going to be, oh, yeah, totally, let's do the UFC model? Nah. And UFC fighters don't get paid like that. He got paid more money, got that type of treatment, okay, than any UFC fighter ever has. I'll put that against anything. The only fighter that's probably made more than Tyson Fury ever, like not in boxing, but in UFC, is Conor McGregor. That's it. That's it. And that's because of the pay-per-view revenue, and that's the only reason why. Just saying. Yes, he doesn't do unification bouts with other MMA companies. True. Hey, Rod, he'll get more people going to get him. He'll get more people going to get them fights, not like Mayweather or De La Hoya, just concentrating on one fighter. So that's what I have to say about that, guys. I don't see a lot of people talking about this. I see a lot of people talking about the WBC and the D-Style. What do you think about the WBC going at it with Dillian White? Here's all I'll say, guys, okay? This is all I'll say. You can side with the WBC today. You're going to be against them tomorrow, right? I've never trusted the Suleimans. I never will, okay? They're corrupt just like everybody else. That's all I got to say about that, right? I'm very careful with these sanctioning bodies. They'll feel one way, and then they'll turn around, bro, and shit changes right away. They're very inconsistent, right? Very inconsistent. They treat fighters, depending on the fighter, they treat fighters differently. I don't like it. They're not the only ones. I'm not a fan of the diamond belt bullshit. I'm not a fan. They're the ones that started that bullshit, right? All of them. I don't like any of them. Right? And this is someone I've been watching boxing my whole life. You'll never see me praise anybody in the sanctioning body because I already know what's going to happen in a couple months, in a couple years, in the coming years. Okay? I already know because they have a pattern. And I know their pattern. Right? They're consistently inconsistent. Very well put, Haplotype. Very well put. Look, of course, there's going to be situations where, look, of course I agree with the WBC right now in regards to Dillian White. I do. But it's not like this is a principal stance that they're taking, right? And that's not what it is at all. Whatsoever. Okay? The WBC is the same organization that allowed someone who had never beaten anybody remotely in the top 10, and Canelo Alvarez, to fight for a title at 150, a catch weight. And he didn't have to fight any of the top contenders. He fought someone not even ranked at a welterweight who was moving up to fight Canelo. Canelo didn't even make the catch weight. And he still didn't fight for the title, even though that was his rule. And they gifted him the title, right? That's the WBC. That's the WBC. And I could keep going on and on. When it's lining up their pockets, they'll stand on the right side if it makes sense, right? But just be careful with the WBC. Be very careful. Heed DStyle's warning. The WBC is not to be trusted. They can feel this way about White now. They could change their minds in a couple months. Okay, so I'm not going to in any way, shape, or form come on here. Other than say yes, of course, you couldn't just go case by case. Fine, I'll go in a case by case basis. I agree with them right now regarding the Dillian White situation. Right, but that's not. I'm definitely not going to be like rah 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 WBC. Okay, it's just not going to happen. Not on this channel, right? And I'm not even saying other people are doing that. I'm just saying, be careful. All right. With that said, let's see if I can read some other comments here. Underground Asylum says Diamond Belts regular champion needs to go. All these so-called secondary world titles need to go. Regular champion, super champion, this champion, that champion. Shit's insane. Stunner 187. If you look at boxing as a whole, you'll see contender fights, CV fights, good fights, big fights, and mega fights. Yeah, look, boxing overall is doing a little good, pretty good right now, but it is frustrating that, you know, boxing has a way of shooting itself on a foot. All right? It just does. Boxing is a lot like Game of Thrones. Like it'll have some good seasons, and then you think it's going to be epic, and then it disappoints you in the end a lot. That happens a lot. So be careful with boxing, okay? All right? Like all you can do is just enjoy what we have and go from there. And we can hope that a lot of these fights that we want to see happen. I want to see Tyson Fury go in the ring and fight Deontay Wilder. I don't want to see him fight another scrub. I just don't. Can you at least fight somebody in the top 5, Tyson Fury? Can you at least do that? And can ESPN stop swinging off the nuts? Can they stop doing that? Stop it. Do you guys see, before we get to Sugar Shane Mosley talk, did you guys see, all right, Timothy Bradley, bro, have you guys seen, like, in the Olympics, like the dudes that dive off, you know, from the tops, the tops, like the very top diving board. Like I'm talking all the way on top. The diving panel, whatever the platform, whatever you call it, the tops one, the very top, right? And they jump off and they do all these flips and back flips and turns, and it looks beautiful. And then like when they dive, like there's no splash. It's just like they go underwater. You see them go underwater, and they do like a U, like under the water, like it's beautiful, right? You guys seen that shit? The announcers be like, these sports, bro, they got to whisper. Like, you know, imagine if they did boxing that way. But they're like, and right now, she's about to go for a second dive. She's 10 points behind the Chinese diver, Xing Shangsheng. And if she gets a good score here, I think she can win this. She could at least be in contention for a medal. She's about to go. Oh, look at this. She turned around. She's on her toes on the edge of the platform. This is going to be very interesting. Very risky here. And she dives, and look at that. Look at that. All right. And you hear the clapping. Right? Let me tell you something, man. Timothy Bradley, man, he was on that top platform for Tyson Fury. Okay, like that dude, right, was on the very tops platform, right? I don't know what these dives are called, But like Timothy Bradley was like the right on the tops, like the very top platform. Okay, but what he was doing, like he was swinging off the nuts of Tyson Fury, bro. He was swinging. That was his technique. He swung off the nuts, and then dude, like the flips and the turns. I mean, bravo! Yes, 10. Right now, I've got Timothy Bradley. He is about to swing off the nuts of Tyson Fury. He's on the very top platform. He's beating out Andre Ward and Joe Tessitore. He's looking to win here. This dive's called the Thomas. You're going to say it's Thomas Schwartz dive. But he could do that to anybody dive. That's what it's called. Timothy Bradley. He's on the very edge. Look at this technique. He grabs the nuts of Tyson Fury. He grabs the nuts of Tyson Fury. The momentum he gets when he swings off those nuts. Look at that. Oh, look at those flips. Look at this. That was like 10 flips, 2 turns. And oh, look at that beautiful landing. Beautiful landing by Timothy Bradley. God damn. Man, he was swinging all those nuts from a high platform. Flips and turns, and a perfect landing. All for Tyson Fury. He beat them all out. Now you guys are gonna say that this is Tom Schwartz, but like, of course we're gonna say that. What else? Like, what else are we supposed to say? Am I supposed to come on here and just be like, "Oh man, that was Schwartz"? I know he looked out of sorts, but damn, I mean Fury. That's up there with Parting the Red Sea, man. It's up there. All right, what he just pulled off. What do you want me to say? Like it's some miracle and shit? Miracle in Vegas? No. All right? Absolutely not. Look, that's that. Right? You got to let me know. What do you think about Dana White getting involved in boxing? Will it be good? Will it be bad? I'm neutral. I don't think it'll be good. I don't think it'll be bad. I just think he's going to be involved in 1 or 2 fights, and then he's going to be out. He's going to be like, I'm done with this shit, and he's out. That's what I think. That's my prediction. All right. Erot says, I hate when on UFC is that Brock can just jump back at any time and jump into the title fight, overlooking others. Absolutely. That happens all the time. There is some negatives of when the owner of a company also owns the titles, there is a conflict of interest. Absolutely. And shit like that happen. Okay. Timothy Bradley's paid to hype up top-ranked fighters, says AJ10. I hope the money's good. I'll tell you that. Quote, people will criticize the opponent, but this is why Tyson Fury is by far the best in the world right now. All right, guys. It's Sugar Shane Appreciation Week. Let's talk some of these fights, man. Right? The first fight I want to talk about, by the way, you can vote on these. Go to my channel, www.youtube.com/DStyleBoxing. My channel is easy to find because the URL is just, it ends /DStyleBoxing. Or just click on DStyle. Okay? All right. All right. So, wait a minute. I just got to know that Morales is up on the polls. Holy shit. Man, Bernard Hopkins started hot. Like, he was like 60%, and bam, Morales came back. El Terrible. We're at 14 votes right now. You haven't voted, go to community page on YouTube, all right? On my YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/DStyleBoxing, or just click on my name. You're watching my video right on the bottom where it says DStyle, or click on the avatar. Even while you're listening, you could click on it. On your mobile device, it'll still have, you can still listen to the video. And then go over to community, the community tab. Right there, we got the qualifier. That's who decided who's going to jump in on next week's poll, guys. Morales is ahead with 57%. Bernard Hopkins, 29%. Frotz at 0%. I think Frotz is going to get eliminated. That's what I think. And Miguel Cotto with 14%. Morales barely got edged out by Barrera. He's in the second week. We'll see how that goes. I got to tell you, I'm a little surprised. I thought the executioner was going to take this one, to be honest with you, but we'll see. All right. Let's go over these polls. Make sure you guys scroll down. Right? There's several polls. If you scroll down, you'll see fantasy matchup 1 of 3. Let's get some more votes up for that. Okay, we're at 22 votes right now only for this one. This is Mosley versus Mayweather at lightweight. Believe it or not, this is a fight that was supposed to happen. John in the house, what's going on, bro? Long-time subscriber. Shout out to him. 8 to 10. Well, he got less 10%. Carl Frotz did. Well, we'll see some Carl Frotz fans can at least keep him alive here. Keep the dude alive. 10%. Right? I'll take any vote for Carl Frotz now. It's Morales is in the lead. All right? A vote for Frotz is a vote for Morales the way I see it right now, but check it out. All right? Polls close midnight, guys, on Friday. So make sure you get those votes in. Tell a friend. All right? Unfortunately, you can't share it, but just keep in mind. Back to this. All right? Sugar Shane Mosley at 135. I talked about him yesterday. Check out that video, man. Right? I have it time stamped. You want to go straight to the Mosley at lightweight, the Leha fight, and the holiday fight. Just talk about Mosley in general. A beast at lightweight. Mosley at 135 was a beast. And at one point, there was talks of Mosley, who was the king of 135, and Mayweather, the king of 130. There was talks there. That was a possible fight. We got the fight later on when they were both past their primes, especially Mosley. All right, Mosley had been through some wars at that point. But it was still a solid welter at the time. And he was very inactive by the time Floyd got him. In this fight, they would have both been active. They would have both been arguably close to or in their prime, but young for sure. And it's the hypotheticals at 135. So Mayweather would be the one moving up, right? Mayweather's a beast at 130, man. And I don't think it would be much of a difference going to 135 for him. But going against a Mosley, right, at 135. Right now, Mayweather leads the poll 55% of the vote versus Mosley 45%. I just tell you what the perception is. People know this would have been a close fight. Now, what do I think? All right, well, what does DStyle think? Because that's why you're here. You want to know what I think. All right? You haven't voted. Vote! All right, but anyway, it was actually tied when I started this show. Now Mayweather got the lead here. Floyd Mayweather, all right, is okay. I think Floyd would pull it off. I know. Okay, calm down. I think Floyd would edge it out. First of all, I think it would be a lot closer than their actual fight at welterweight. I think it would be a lot closer. I do think Mosley would win at least 5 rounds in that fight. Right? It is also possible that Mosley knocks him down in his fight. Okay? I think we'll have a more dramatic moment than we had in their actual fight. I think it's a hell of a fight. We probably get a rematch out of it because of how close it would be. Mosley would be able to put pressure on Floyd, okay, and also be able to box Floyd in the pocket, right? Mosley's hand speed was something else, and I think Floyd would get clipped at times, despite his great defense. But I think Floyd would just edge him out. I do. I think he would just edge out Shane Mosley. I think he would pull it off. And Floyd was as great as I think Mosley was, and he was great at lightweight. I think Mayweather still pulls it off, right? I think he'll make adjustments in the third of that fight. In the championship rounds, Mayweather will make those adjustments, and it'll be the difference in the scorecard. That's what I think, right? Apparently, 55% of the correspondents agree with me. Okay? Now, it's not impossible that Mosley could win. right? I'm just giving you my opinion here. That's all. Don't shoot. All right. There's also another hypothetical. In a weight class that I believe would have been perfect for Mosley at a given time, and that was 140 pounds. He never explored that scenery, Mosley. Now, I get why he didn't go to 140. There was that money fight with De La Hoya, 147. So when he felt he had the number of it, and it turned out he did, right? That he felt he could beat, and he ended up moving up and beating De La Hoya. And a great fight, by the way. We'll talk about that maybe tomorrow. Right? We're going to get to his welterweight days for sure. Mosley, man, if he would have gone to 140, I just think the landscape would have just been different, right? And he would have, I mean, it would have been inevitable. Him fighting Kostya Tszyu would have been inevitable, right? Now, for those that don't know, Kostya Tszyu was a beast, man. I'm a big fan of Kostya Tszyu. He stopped Zab Judah, gives Zab Judah his first loss. And I'm going to twist it. This was when Judah was like, knock your fuckers out, okay? That fight changed Judah's career. But as big of a fan that I am of Kostya Tszyu, and I'm a big fan, he might even be put in an appreciation week 1 week, right? He retired a while back, but it might be down the line. But I think Mosley would have beaten Kostya Tszyu, right? And apparently most of you agree with me because of the votes thus far, Mosley has 85% of the vote, right? That man tweet commented it would have been a hell of a fight. I agree. I absolutely agree. It would have been a good fight. But I think Mosley would have pulled it off, man. I just think that would have been his ideal weight class at that time. Right? I don't think he would have been there long. He might have just been there like 4 fights, and then he would have moved up to welterweight. So he would have had to fight Kostya Tszyu at that point. But man, would that have been a win? But he had to hurry up. He didn't know how long De La Hoya was going to stay at welterweight. He didn't know. So he had to make his move. Right? But man, that would have been a hell of a fight, dude. I mean, we missed out on something that would have been a hell of a fight. Kostya Tszyu versus Shane Mosley at 140 would have been great. I mean, it would have been perfect. His transition to welterweight, he would have been even more of a beast coming into that weight class. Okay, if you make that transition like that, but he didn't, right? And that is that, right? I agree with the polls, right? I do agree that Mosley would have won. 85% of the vote for Shane Mosley, 15% for Kostya Tszyu. And now it's a big one. Right? Now it's the big one. Shane Mosley versus Roberto Duran, Manos de Piedra. As of right now, with 35 votes, Hands of Stone leads with 74%. Mosley with 26%. Let me first tell you, the fact that Mosley got 26% is a lot, man. A lot of dudes wouldn't get 1%. Okay, much as 24%. Okay, the fact that a quarter of people, 1 out of every 4, say I think Mosley wins, tells you a lot. It does, and I honestly believe most of the people voting Mosley are the ones that experienced Mosley when he was a lightweight. Everyone else, I think, just know the welterweight Mosley. And like later on, after he lost to Forrest, and the only big win they know of him was when he beat Mayorga and Margarito, right? That's all they know. Believe it or not, believe it or not, I think Mosley beats Duran, right? No, I think he beats him, right? I do, right? Now listen to me. I think Duran beats Mayweather at 135. I do. But I think Mosley beats Duran. Right? The Mayweather-Duran one is a whole other story. If we ever have a Mayweather Appreciation Week, it's confirmed he's retired for sure. We'll do one. Right? I'm sure he'll win the polls. But we'll get there. But as far as Mosley goes, it could be controversial. It doesn't mean I'm not saying Duran, in my opinion, is probably the best lightweight of all time. Right? Overall, he's the best of all time. I think he beats more lightweights in history than Mosley does. But head to head, I think Mosley's all wrong for Duran. Right? I think he's all wrong for Duran. Not just because of the speed, because if it was just that, Duran could deal with that. But the combination of the power and speed, Mosley could box too, and he could also get rough in there, right? Mosley would have to fight a smart fight, right? He would. And I'm not even saying it would be easy, but I think he would pull it off, right? I do. I'm obviously in the minority here, obviously, okay, because 75% of correspondents are saying Duran all day, right? But I got Mosley winning that fight. Sorry. Okay. Have I done Castillo? I mean, Castillo, he'll be put in a poll sometime in the future. We're starting with recently retired guys, and we'll go from there. If you mean like a fantasy matchup, Mosley Castillo is very interesting. Very interesting, actually. Man. I favor Mosley, but man, that's not easy fight. Not an easy fight for Mosley 135. But I favor Mosley, but I'll say Mosley, but that's a close one. Whitaker Mosley 135. Whitaker. Got Whitaker all day. Whitaker wins. All right. I think Whitaker pulled it off. I'm a big Whitaker fan, so maybe I'm biased, but I think Whitaker beats Mosley at 135 and 140. Hypothetically, they fought there too. 147. It's a little more interesting, I think. I think Mosley might be Whitaker 147. Maybe. All right. Might be the same story, but Whitaker 135, I mean, dude. All right. So that's that. All right. We'll see as more boxing news comes out. I want to thank all you guys that joined me live. Remember, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, Mondays through Thursdays. I'm looking forward to have Calix tomorrow. Okay. Every Wednesday, Calix is on. Look out for Mondays for Haplotype. All right. And Ashy Knuckles is down to do some as well, but I got to find a day for Ashy. So we'll everybody see on the lookout for that. All right. And that's that. All right. This is DStyleBoxing. Oh, by the way, before I go, hold on. Whoa. I got 6 minutes anyway. Chill, DStyle. Chill. Look. Let me say something. First of all, if you haven't checked it out already on Sunday, and you'll see it black with white letters, Boxing Stories. Make sure you guys check that out. All right. It's titled First Father's Day. Check that out. But I'm going to be doing another Boxing Stories on Sunday. All right. You guys be on the lookout for that. But not only that. All right. Not only that. Growing up, my granddad, my grandfather, always, he told me a lot of stories, and I have many other stories. The one story I told on Sunday was when he told me about the story of El Pájaro or Moreno. That's what he called him. It's Ricardo Pajarito Moreno, right? Who fought Hogan Kid Bessie or Basie. Okay, I gotta probably not pronouncing that right, but I'll get that. These two guys fought, right, in Los Angeles, Wrigley Field, Los Angeles. Don't confuse that with Chicago's. It was the same designer, actually. Same dude designed both spots. It was in a baseball stadium, and I'm not talking like the dumb stadium fights you see today. Baseball stadiums are better for boxing because of the because of the because of its structure, the way it's built. The infield, right behind the pitcher in the diamond, right? If you've ever been to a baseball game, it's a nice view almost anywhere you sit. That's kind of where they would put the boxing ring, right? No one was over there in the outfield standing. It just wasn't a thing, okay? But anyway, the fight was there, and I got to tell you, man, I'm actually working on a short story for Hogan Bessie versus Ricardo Moreno, right? I got a lot of stuff written down. I'll be working on that. I'm gonna post that, right? It's gonna take a lot of my time, right? So I want you guys to check that out. I want you to share it when it comes out, right? And I just want to make sure you guys, keep a lookout for that, right? Keep a lookout for that, right? So I'm working on that. I think it's a great story, bro. I looked up. I'm still looking into shit for that. Great story. And be on the lookout for that. That's all I got to say about that. Mayorga versus Duran would have been a fun fight. Trash talking would be epic. Absolutely. But, man, Mayorga would beat his – I mean, Duran would have beat his ass, bro. He would have beat his ass. It's not even funny. I don't see that fight going more than 3 rounds. All right, A-Rod says, love the fight with Castillo knocked out Robert Garcia. Absolutely. Absolutely. Anyways, guys, that's that. This is DStyleBoxing. See you tomorrow, same time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. This is DStyle. Keep it boxing.